think I may have just stumbled upon the greatest video that I have ever seen. And you know what's crazy is I've talked to people from Cuba who had to flee communism. I have talked to people who had to flee communist China. I've talked to people. I've actually gotten to hear their experiences of how communism actually works. And that right there is why I know that Trump is anything but a communist dictator. What's so absurd is that not one communist country has these no kings protests. Ask yourself why. Because under communist rule, if you were to take to the streets in protest and hold up a bunch of silly signs that says, no kings, our leader is a dictator, you want to know what they're going to do to you? Not only will they throw you in the deepest, darkest depths of prison, but you might not survive the night. I'm just saying, a real communist dictator stays that way because they rule with an iron fist. What is so remarkably baffling to me is that not one of these people on the left who, we need socialism here. Oh, it's such a great thing. Bullshit, it's communism. Not one of them will move to a communist country just to try it out for at least a year. They would be begging to come back to America. That's why people from communist China, Cuba, Russia, North Korea, that's why they're all here. Do you think they would take the time to even talk to somebody who had to flee communism? No, they won't. Because I know what I'm talking about. Free healthcare for all. Free rent, free food. Do you want to see the free food that they give you? I'm about to show you.
On today's episode of I've Lived Through an Actual Dictatorship, so you'll know we're not on one, I want to talk about what the government considers helping its citizens. Cuban citizens, because of the nature of the government being a socialist/communist government, receive a monthly quota, which is what the government expects you to survive with in addition to your salary. Let me show you every item that the Cuban citizens received for the past 3 months in an attempt to make you realize how cruel a dictatorship really is. Once I show you and you're done picking up your job from the floor, I will explain how much a salary person makes. Don't worry, it doesn't matter what profession they're on, because in Cuba, communist/socialist country, everyone makes the same. Then I will compare it to the cost of living in Cuba. In the month of June, 1 bag of lentils per person was given. This was supposed to last them a whole month. In the month of July, they gave about 2 pounds of rice per person, in addition to, you guessed it, another bag of lentils per person, followed by the month of August, where we had another bag of lentils per person. In addition to that, they gave about 14 jars of baby food. For the month of September was a plentiful one. They gave every Cuban half a kilogram of sugar, 1 pound of shredded beef for kids 1 to 13 years old, and about 2 pounds of steaks for pregnant women only. This is because they were behind for the previous 3 months, so you had to divide that in the 3 months that they were missing. All of this right here is about 4 months worth of Cuban food. And you'll be surprised that at my local Walmart, I spent about $60 to buy this. To add insult to the injury, a Cuban worker over there makes about $20 a month, and a carton of eggs is about $5 to $6. Yes, they make 4 cartons of eggs salary-wise. To add that cherry on top, retirees get about 2,000 pesos a month. 2,000 pesos is what they get every month, and a carton of eggs is 3,000 pesos. A retiree with his salaries cannot even buy a carton of eggs. Now you tell me, you, the one who's crying that this country is a dictatorship, the one who's always complaining that we have a dictator, when was the last time that you couldn't afford a carton of eggs? This, and many more reasons, is why I tell you, America is not a dictatorship. At all.
Now, I've watched several of his videos. Did you know that kids in communist Cuba, 1 stick of gum lasts them over a week? Did you know they chew their gum for 1 week? After they're done chewing their gum for the day, they place it in the freezer. And in order to add more flavor to the gum, sometimes they add a little bit of toothpaste. In another one of his videos, he explains how people actually survive. They have to steal. They have to steal. One person works at a government-owned business, like let's say a hygiene factory. The other one works at another government-owned business, being a butcher. Now, this person who works at the butcher will actually barter. Hey, buddy, I need some deodorant. Because deodorant at the government-owned store, it's gone. We lined up. They had like 6 sticks of deodorant, and the first 6 people who needed deodorant, Yeah. Yeah, they got it, and I'm ass out. So I have to steal from my government-owned job, risking going to prison so that I can have not have stinky armpits. So they have to barter with one another. They don't have cable TV. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? You want communism so bad here? Well, then why don't you go to Cuba for a couple of months and see how it is? At least go for a couple of months. Oh, wait, you can't. Huh. You can't, because they probably will not accept your visa paperwork. Because the last thing they want is somebody coming from America to Cuba to tell all the Cubans exactly how good we got it over here in the United States. Why do you think people flee those countries to come here and not the other way around? It's truly remarkable how people have become indoctrinated like communism good. It's so crazy to me. It's so crazy to me that the people on the left are like, Trump is a dictator. Trump is a fascist dictator. But in the same breath, we want a fascist dictator. Capitalism bad, communism good. How? How do they not see that don't make no sense? This guy's videos are great because it actually explains how life under communism is. And people of New York, the people of New York who have been bamboozled, let's just keep it 100, you have been bamboozled by the communist Zoran Mandani, you're going to find out soon enough. All of those people who came here and came with nothing and then worked dead-end jobs to save so that they could open up their own bodegas and live the American dream. Those will all be out of business because Zoran Mandani plans to put government-owned grocery stores in all 5 boroughs of New York City. All 5. Costing $60 million. So, this is crazy. What did he just show you? Did that not, like, send the alarm bells off to the people on the left? Does that not, like, shake you to your core? A pregnant woman for 3 months gets 1 steak. How do you even divide that? 3 months, 90 days, because you heard what he said. Some months they don't even get it. So they have to make up and they have to wait. 1 bag of lentils, 1 bag. Oh, a pound of ground beef for kids ages 1 to 13. My 7-year-old basically eats me out of house and home. We know how much kids eat and they need nutrition to grow. This is baffling to me. It really is. I'm over here like these people are nuts. So this is what we need to do, leftists. If you really want to stand on business, pack your shit and go on to a communist country. But, since no one's here on stolen land and we shouldn't have borders, I want you to do so illegally and see what happens to you. I want you to go have your No Kings protest over there where there actually is a communist dictator. But you don't want to do that. No, because you don't stand on business. You have been indoctrinated to hate President Trump and to think that he's a dictator. And I'm so sick and tired of these mostly peaceful protests and what Antifa is doing out in Portland. I'm so sick and tired of it. I sometimes wish that he would get like a communist dictator so that don't happen no more, because the people of Portland, the residents, haven't slept in, almost a year? And that's my video for today. I've said enough, but I said what I said. Period.